kick off. It's 1:03 Eastern. I want to get started so we can get rolling with the fun today. Welcome to Insurance Career Jeopardy! If your insurance life was a game show. I have sirens outside my window, so my apologies for that. Hope you can't hear. First off, my name is Rachel Lieblein-Gerbala. I'm the programs manager at the Spencer Educational Foundation, and my pronouns are she, her. And an introduction to Spencer, for those of you who may be less familiar, our foundation is dedicated to funding the education of tomorrow's risk management and insurance leaders. And we do so through scholarships, through internship grants, and grants to universities for experiential learning opportunities and for RMI curriculum development. This is our final webinar in our 10-part summer series. So for those of you who've been joining us through the summer, thank you so much for being here. For those of you for whom this is the first time, it's great to meet you and see you today. And rest assured, we will be back. The webinar series will kick off back through the year on the second Thursday of every month at 1 Eastern time. So we'll see you there as well. But back to today, a couple of notes. If you've just joined, if you wouldn't mind writing an introduction to yourself in the chat. So your name, where you're calling in from, and your university or organization, so we can get to know who's on the call today. Again, I encourage the folks who haven't turned their videos on, if you're able to, we'd love to see your faces. Thank you for doing that. This is going to be a very interactive session today. Bob's got a great thing going for us. And I just want to put it out there that this is a safe space. There are wrong answers in Jeopardy, but there are really no wrong answers today, because it'll be an opportunity to learn something new. And Bob's got a lot of information up his sleeve that I'm excited to learn from today. And the last piece is that this meeting is being recorded, just so you know. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our game show host, Bob Thomas. Bob is the Senior Vice President and Northeast Regional Executive at Liberty Mutual, where he joined as Vice President of Marketing for the Property Division in 2002. Today, in his current role, he is responsible for broker results, relationships, and strategies from Maine through to New Jersey. Before joining Liberty, Bob held various marketing roles in the high-tech sector and got his start in the insurance industry, providing marketing and communication services to commercial union insurance and its agents and customers. Bob received his bachelor's in English and communications from the Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts. And last but not least, Bob is also a member of the Spencer Board of Directors. And with that, Bob, I'm going to pass the floor over to you.
Well, thank you, Rachel. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the kind introduction. And I want to welcome everybody to this afternoon's webinar. And I really do intend for this to be something that's a bit casual, a bit fun. But first of all, let me start off by saying congratulations to all of you. You've chosen a very interesting and exciting field for your career. As Rachel mentioned, I'm Bob Thomas. I'm with Liberty Mutual, and I am the Northeast Regional Executive with responsibility for our commercial and specialty business from Maine through New Jersey. And in the past, I've also held a few different national roles in Liberty, and so have traveled the country in various roles, getting to know folks from really from Seattle to Miami. And every spot in between. And that's been a result of being a part of this really wonderful industry that you guys are about to embark on. So today, I just wanted to share some fun little facts and anecdotes about the industry that you are choosing as your profession. It's a great and rewarding choice. And when you think about it, this industry touches pretty much everything in our society today. So the industry is associated with just about anything that you are interested in. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we just sort of use Jeopardy as a little bit of an experiment to prove that point? So I'll let you be the judge of it. We're going to play a little insurance Jeopardy. Let me bring up the Jeopardy board, and so hopefully I can use my incredible technical skills here. And I will share, let's see, please do this right. All right, so can somebody just let me know, are you able to see the Jeopardy screen?
Looking good, Bob.
Good. And also, as we as we do this, what I encourage you guys to do is actually take yourselves off of mute. Feel free to jump in at any point in time with a response. You know, you might want to either say, hey, I got the answer, or ding, 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 what have you. I will gladly call on you, and then we'll see how well we do in terms of insurance Jeopardy and the questions and answers that we've got. I'm going to save some time also as we go through this. I'll save some time toward the end for just any Q&A. This is your time. I want to make sure that that you feel it's valuable and a good use of your time. And so if there's anything I can answer for you regarding the insurance industry, I'm happy to do so. Happy to take some time to answer questions. So I say let's jump into it. We'll see how this goes. And perhaps, well, first let me introduce you to our Jeopardy categories. How about that? So our, I suppose I should need to advance the board. Here are your insurance Jeopardy categories today. There are crazy insurance facts. We've got insurance innovation, insurance terms and acronyms. I mean, how sexy does that sound? Insurance history, celebrity insurance policies, and why insurance. So here is your Jeopardy board. And if you don't mind, and again, I want to keep this informal, so if you don't mind, how about if I just randomly choose one of you to get us started? Just take yourself off of mute, pick a category, and then we'll get rolling with the game. So Katie Williams, would you mind if I start with you, if you would gladly pick a category here?
Yeah, let's go with why insurance for 100.
I can't even believe you started there. I was so convinced nobody would start with why insurance. I was actually building in a segue to get to why insurance. So I appreciate you doing this. So this is the amount of money distributed through policy benefits and claims each year by the insurance industry. And if I can, let me see here. I'm going to start my little timer. Any sense, any idea how much money is spent on claims and benefits? Well, let's go to the answer. How about $300 billion? So, and it's not that this money just helps restore people and business to being whole again. This money has a trickle-down effect in our economy, and it fuels jobs, it fuels and supports other industries that support insurance. So we don't stand alone in a vacuum in the insurance industry. What we do is make sure that businesses stay in business, that people are able to be made whole, and that their investments are able to be made whole if they should have a claim. So we help keep this, our economy going. Good one, Katie. So how about, let's go back to the board. And Amanda, how about you? Would you mind taking yourself off of mute and picking a category?
Can we do crazy insurance facts for 100?
I see no reason why we can't. Since 1987, this type of insurance has been available in the US, protecting customers from otherworldly visitors, giving a whole new meaning to the term close encounters.
What is alien insurance?
You know what? How about alien abduction insurance? You are absolutely right, Amanda. And so that, yeah, so actually introduced by Lloyd's of London in the late 1980s. So as crazy as it may be. I mean, so Amanda, you still have the board.
Could I do celebrity insurance policies for 100?
Absolutely. So let's go over here to celebrity insurance policies. So this Hong Kong actor and stuntman is out when it comes to insurance policies, as no insurance company is willing to underwrite their productions.
Not too sure. What is Jackie Chan?
Amanda, I feel like you've been playing a lot of Jeopardy. Yes, Jackie Chan. He is, because he does all of his own stunts, and they can be so elaborate. No insurance company is willing to take a risk on them. All right, you still have the board.
Wait, so Bob, is he entirely not covered? What's the scoop there? Do we know?
Yeah, so they probably what they do in that case is just self-insure. And there's
Bob, I can jump in. I actually wrote that question. That's correct. He covers, yeah, he self-insures and covers the crew and staff himself.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, which is crazy. But that's how elaborate his stunts are. All right, so Amanda, how about one more?
Do insurance innovation for 100?
Insurance innovation for 100. This device allows companies to gather data on customers' driving habits and possibly save them a few bucks as well.
Well, I'm not too sure what this device is called.
Well, it is called telematics. So telematics, this allows companies to collect data on driver behavior, and this allows the insurance company really to then price their risks accordingly. So it allows companies the ability to evaluate safe drivers from some not so safe drivers. And so that advance, if you think about it, across the country, right? How does product move across the US? So much of our product is transported through trucks, delivery vehicles, and they're not all created equal. And so pricing them, it's not all, there are some operations that really perform better than others and invest a ton of resources into safety. Telematics allows us to see who some of those safer operations are. So that is a recent, somewhat recent insurance innovation. So Amanda, you did really, really well. So that's, oh my gosh, I was not supposed to do that. Let's go back here, as I need to make sure. Okay.
Bob, can I ask a very quick question?
Yeah.
So if somebody selects and doesn't know the answer, is somebody else allowed to unmute themselves and give that answer if they have it?
Yes, they are. So thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. Yeah. So if somebody would like to chime in on an answer, please feel free. So how about if I go back to the board here, and Tendeka, how about you? Would you like to choose a category here?
Sure, I'd love to. How about history for 200?
History for 200. So this emblem dates back to the 1700s and was used to identify homes and buildings that were insured. Any idea what this thing is called?
I have no idea. Would anybody like to chime in?
Yeah, anybody else? All right.
How about you, Heather? Heather is our Quest Pro intern. She's like, no.
So this emblem is called a fire mark. Now, in the early days of insurance, fire marks were used in towns and villages to identify homes and businesses where the owner had paid insurance to support the local fire brigade. And when a house was burning, the local fire brigade would show up. The first thing they do is look for this emblem on the side of the building. And if they found the emblem, they commence putting out the fire. But no fire mark, let it burn. Yeah, that's right. So these are actually now collector's items, and a lot of insurance companies actually, some of them have these on display. And I used to work for a company that displayed these fire marks, and I learned like how crazy passionate some folks are in terms of trying to collect them. Tendeka, would you like to try another one here?
Sure. How about why insurance for 300?
Why insurance for 300? So this type of policy makes owning a home a real possibility for millions of Americans.
Homeowners insurance?
Yep, a little bit of a softball, but yes, homeowners insurance. Now, this, it protects it protects our purchases, right? So almost all lenders require some form of insurance to, in order to protect the bank's liability, should that asset be destroyed or damaged, when the owner doesn't have 100% equity in that asset, right? So if you think about it, think about all of the homes across the country. Not everybody has, I don't know about you, but I certainly don't have the kind of cash on hand to fix, to purchase that home outright, right? I mean, if the average cost of a home in America, let's say it's $250,000 or something. And where I live in the Northeast, it's a lot more expensive than that. Well, most folks don't have $250,000 of cash on hand just to purchase a house. And so they get a loan. The bank has got to make sure that what they're loaning out is protected in some way, shape, or form. So without homeowners insurance, you just wouldn't have people owning homes up and down across the country, which is the #1 form of wealth in the United States. So that's why homeowners matters. Tendeka, thank you. Appreciate those, your questions there. Now, how about, let me try, see if I can pronounce this correctly here. Kadzane? Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Or close?
Oh, yeah, that's Kadzane. Thank you.
Okay, so Kadzane, would you like to try the board?
Yes, I'll try why insurance for $200.
For how much?
For 200.
For 200. Why insurance for 200? So, aside from paying claims, insurance companies invest this amount of money in the United States economy alone. I suppose I could have made this one a multiple choice answer. So I was gonna say, how about we go to the answer? It's $1 trillion. That's right. So insurance companies are big investors in other companies, stocks, bonds, all of which help facilitate our financial market. So without this investment, the financial markets aren't moving the way that they do. So again, this is one of the reasons why insurance is so important to our society overall. All right, how about another one, Kadzane?
I'll go for history. $300, let's say.
300 for history?
For history.
So, this New York University partnered with Liberty Mutual back in 1957 to develop the Liberty Safety Car. It did not run, it didn't look very good, but it featured safety ideas like the seatbelt, headrest, padded interiors, and the very first crash test dummy. Which university is it?
I'm lost.
Anybody like to take a stab at which sort of prominent New York university this could possibly be? What is Cornell University? So collaboration began in 1952 between Cornell Aeronautical Laboratories and Liberty Mutual, which yielded the first experimental safety vehicle. And luckily, the this seminal Cornell Liberty safety car survived, and this is now on display at the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation in Dearborn, Michigan.
We have a hand up. Heather is ready to be called on.
Excellent. So Heather, I see you now. Heather, the board is yours.
I was going to say celebrity insurance for 200.
Celebrity insurance for 200. So this pop star's legs are rumored to be insured for 40 million against injuries that could hinder her from dancing during her singing performances. What pop star could this be?
Jennifer Lopez.
That is a good answer, but I think it is. I think it's incorrect.
Carry on.
Taylor
Are you
Swift.
for real?
Yeah.
And that's different.
Right.
Crazy.
So it's still a rumor, not confirmed. And even I was, I did a little Jeopardy test here with my wife before putting this whole thing, finalizing this thing. She couldn't believe like Taylor Swift. She goes, "Wait, does Taylor Swift really dance?" So,
she does a little bit.
Yeah, and so so apparently, rumor has it anyway that she has had her legs insured. So
Wow.
How about another one?
You can do crazy insurance facts for 200.
Crazy insurance facts for 200. New York City Fire Museum's collection includes the insurance policy written for this 1937 vessel that exploded over New Jersey.
Anyone? I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Anyone else might have a suggestion or an idea here for what vessel exploded over New Jersey in 1937?
A blimp?
Hindenburg?
Who said that? Let's see.
Jennifer, yeah.
All right, Jennifer, let's see. What is the Hindenburg? Also written by Lloyd's of London, it was originally insured for nearly $15 million, which I guess would be valued at about 85 million in current dollars. So Jennifer, good call there. So the board is yours.
The insurance terms and acronyms for 100.
Insurance terms and acronyms for 100. A natural occurrence such as an earthquake, hurricane, these are commonly referred to as an AOG in an insurance policy. What does AOG stand for?
Act of God.
You are correct, my friend. You are, yes. So the board is still yours.
Okay. I will probably get all the insurance the acronyms, because my background is insurance. So let's go with something that I won't monopolize the board with. Okay. How about celebrity insurance for 300?
Celebrity insurance for 300. This famous Hollywood director has the largest life insurance policy in the world, valued at $1.2 billion. Hollywood director.
Spielberg.
Well, that is a very good guess because it is Steven Spielberg. Now, there is a Silicon Valley CEO that's believed to have a larger insurance policy, but that individual has not been identified. So as far as we know, Steven Spielberg has the largest life insurance policy in the world. All right, so you're kind of crushing my board here. How about one more?
Crazy insurance facts for 300.
Crazy insurance facts for 300. All right. So 1971, whiskey manufacturer Cutty Sark asked Lloyd's of London to underwrite a contest offering an award of £1 million to anyone who could capture this mythical creature. Whiskey manufacturer Cutty Sark went to Lloyd's of London.
Oh, with a whiskey manufacturer, I would think a leprechaun, but
In this case, it is, what is the Loch Ness Monster?
nice.
Yeah.
Sheila got the answer correct in the chat. Nice work.
Oh, really? I did not
Thank
see
you.
that. All right, Sheila, then that means you're up.
All right, then I would like to go with the same crazy insurance fact.
Oh, for 400?
Yes, 400.
Okay. So according to Zillow, in 2020, this US building's value is roughly estimated at 389 million. But since the building belongs to the government, it does not need an insurance policy. I'm not fully convinced of that, by the way, folks, but according to Zillow, this building is estimated at 389 million. What building is Zillow referring to? Government building. Let's go to the answer. What is the White House? So 389 million, I actually would have thought it might be more than that myself, but you know, I do think Zillow has a tendency to lowball. Sheila, how about another one?
I would like to pick history 400.
For 100?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the Philadelphia contribution ship for the insurance of houses from loss of fire is the oldest property insurance company in the United States. It was organized in 1752 by this famous founding father and is still in operation today. Who is this famous founding father?
Benjamin Franklin.
Who is Benjamin Franklin?
Oh,
Yes. So Franklin modeled the company after the amicable contribution ship of London. So the insurance model for the United States came across on the Mayflower, essentially. I guess it came from London. Good call. So I'm going to go. We got one more there, Stella. What do you say?
I would take the last crazy insurance facts.
Well, that's crazy insurance fact. All right. For 500 here. In this recent global sporting event, if it had been canceled, insurers would have had to have paid between $2 and $3 billion in losses. What is this recent global sporting event?
I guess the recent Olympics.
You would be correct. The Summer Olympics. According to brokers, this would have been the largest claim ever made in global event cancellation in the global event cancellation market. Liberty Mutual last year, as a result of COVID, we paid out well north of $250 million worth of event cancellation insurance that we write out of London. So it's not something that typically has to pay out, as events don't often actually get canceled, but when they do, that can be a pretty big price tag. All right, we've got a couple more, and then we're going to shift gears. So I am. How about Anamika? Would you like to go to the board and select one of our remaining categories here? That's risky. How about Justin? Justin, if you are on, can I ask you to select a category there? Just take yourself off of mute. All right, so I am going to go back here. Let me just move this around a little bit. And I'm going to select Steve. Yes, I am selecting you, Steve.
Oh, all right. Let's see what I can do. We'll go for insurance acronyms for 400.
Insurance acronyms for 400. So the PPIP assists customers with protecting key things such as cities, towns, fire departments, water utilities, schools, and more. What does PPIP stand for?
Right. So I'm going to say, what is public entity program, or yeah, public entity program and insurance plans?
And you would actually be pretty much correct. Public entity property insurance programs. So if you think about it, cities, towns, all of the services that a town provides to its citizens, well, somebody has to make sure that those services are protected in the event of fire or what have you, and that's where a PPIP program can come into play. So, good answer there, Steve. So I have what I can't. Rachel, let me just do a quick time check here because I can't see.
Time check is 1:36 Eastern.
All right, good. So we've got time for just a few more questions on the board. Steve, you as you got that one, let's give you a shot at another here.
All right. Well, it seems like we haven't touched the innovation side too much. So let's go for the big one and go for 500. 500,
innovation. A subcategory of artificial intelligence and frequently associated with chat bots and mobile apps. Insurers can also utilize this technology to expedite underwriting, bill processing, and claim submissions. What is this subcategory of artificial intelligence?
What is machine learning? Oh.
Yeah, seriously, what is machine learning? So it goes to show you that, I mean, the cutting edge of insurance is not what most people think of when they think of insurance, right? They think of homeowners policies, life insurance, health insurance, but that's how far we've come. The insurance industry is implementing things like machine learning, artificial intelligence, utilization of blockchain. So it's no longer insurance as usual. Technology is very much playing an essential role in how insurance is, how insurance operations work today across the globe. So nicely done there, Steve. Appreciate that. So, Megan, we've yet to hear from you. So how about taking a spin on the board here?
Sure. Let's see. I like celebrity insurance policies, and we'll go for the big money with 500.
500. So it's not uncommon for celebrities to take out insurance policies for specific body parts. This supermodel took out a $2 million policy for her legs, with one leg being worth more than the other.
I don't know any super. All I can think of is Kate Moss. Is she even still a supermodel? This is like showing my age here.
No,
Can I steal?
please.
It's Heidi Klum.
You would be absolutely correct there, Celia. Heidi Klum. And I don't know why, but Heidi, yeah, she insured one leg for more than the other. Because it had a scar, if I'm not mistaken. So.
It's like her trademark.
Yeah. So, but Megan, we'll give you a shot at another one on the board as well.
Okay, let's go with Y insurance for 500.
Y insurance for 500. The answer is $1.32 trillion.
Oh, I think I need multiple choice here.
Yeah, it's a little, I will say, probably a little unfair. So the answer is, what was the total amount of net written premiums for the insurance industry in 2019?
Wow.
Yeah, 1.32 trillion. Now, 48% of that was property and casualty insurance, and 52% of that was life and health insurance.
So I want to point something out, Bob, because the other answer was about what was paid out in claims.
Yes, I know.
Billion. So this is why insurance companies make a lot of money, and why it's a good career to be in, because they can afford to pay their.
So it's funny. It's funny you should say that, because I thought of that as as I was jotting this question down here. So for one, this one here, I believe, is a global. No, this was US. It was a US number.
That was US, and the other one was global. Okay.
Yeah, it was a US number.
That's
But
even worse.
but here's one of the reasons why. A number of policies are also multi-year policies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that also factors into some of the premium collected, and the thing about insurance is that, right, not everybody's going to have a loss. Some losses are absolutely catastrophic, and without insurance, there's no way their business would survive. Other companies are going to go years without a claim, and they're going to wonder, why am I paying this? Why am I paying this? But it is for the protection of that business, and it's an investment in the business to make sure that should something happen, there is the opportunity to save the business and have it endure. All right, how about maybe how about one more question, and then we'll go to Final Jeopardy here.
Not to call anyone out, Bob, but I know Ross hasn't had the opportunity to be called on. Ross, are you there?
Let's check to see if Ross.
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, Ross. Okay, so the board is yours, my friend.
Could we do innovation for 400?
Insurance innovation for 400. More insurance companies are incorporating AI, artificial intelligence, to increase efficiency. One insurance startup powered by AI offers customers a renter's policy in just 90 seconds, and it holds the world's record for settling for the fastest claim settlement, which was just 3 seconds. What new insurance company is this?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, I was going to tell you that if you get this answer, I would be so incredibly impressed. What is Lemonade? So Lemonade, not exactly sure why it's called Lemonade, but it did make a big splash just a couple of years ago when it launched. And I know one of the executives over there is a former Liberty Mutual executive who is was part of the Lemonade startup. Ross, how about another?
Let's do history for 400.
400 it is. First car insurance policy was sold in the US back in 1898. And it offered $5,000 worth of coverage. The company that wrote that policy is still around today. And nope, it's not Liberty Mutual.
I'll just guess State Farm.
And still, if I can.
Why not? Celia, you've been very good.
Travelers, it would be Travelers Insurance.
Who is Travelers Insurance? That is an excellent answer. And I hadn't really thought of where the name may have come from. So the policy was sold to Dr. Truman Martin of Buffalo, New York. And he had an annual premium of $12.25. At the time, there were only 4,000 cars in the US compared to about 18 million horses. So those are some of what I think are some fun and interesting facts about the insurance industry that I could put on a Jeopardy board. There is one final question that I think we should hit, the final Jeopardy answer here. And what I'm going to say here is, let me see, how can I do this? Yeah, for this one, I'll read the answer. And if the first person to put the answer in the chat will win a Jeopardy prize here. So are you folks ready? You need to put the answer in the chat. The final Jeopardy question. This dynamic duo coined the phrase, "You only pay for what you need." You only pay for what you need. Do we have an answer in the chat yet? No. Let's think about this, people. It is not Dennis Beaver from Megan Miller. And you would be, let me see. Oh, I forgot our Jeopardy music. Who are Limu, Emu, and Doug? Yes, so Megan, congratulations. Yes, you are the winner of Final Jeopardy. So I am going to, let me see, bring us back to the board, and I'm going to stop sharing.
Bob, I just have to say that advertising is so pervasive that I said the word liberty the other day to my 8-year-old, and she started going, liberty, liberty, liberty. It's just like, and they don't even really watch TV. I mean, they do like tablet time, but I just couldn't. It's just, you know, it works.
Right. It does. It absolutely works. It's one of those little earworms that kind of gets in there, and we hear it all the time. So as we're talking to our insurance agents and brokers and our clients, I cannot tell you how many times I get people commenting on either the jingle or Limu and Doug. Some people will tell me how much they hate our advertising. Others will tell me how much they love it. I have one insurance broker, a guy in New York City. His son is obsessed with Limu Emu, and so I sent him a little stuffed Limu Emu, and that is the Jeopardy. Final Jeopardy prize is a little your very own. Yep, Missy is displaying it here.
Yeah, I'm holding him up for all to see. So.
Well, Bob, you know I need 4, right? Because I have 4 kids. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Thank you. That's lovely.
Yeah, but I was in my son and I went to we went to get some Chinese food. Went to pick up some Chinese food, and we got to the restaurant early, and so we sat down at the bar, and we were just kind of waiting, and there were 3 people spaced out at the bar, just kind of watching TV, having a drink, and an insurance commercial came on. I think it was a Progressive commercial. So these 3 individuals just started talking about insurance commercials, and they talked about Progressive, they talked about Geico, they talked about Liberty. And I sat there just sort of entertained with these random strangers having a conversation about insurance. That's how far our industry, our society has come, right? These folks are household names in many cases. And someone like Geico, as an example, Geico spends 10 times what Liberty Mutual spends on advertising. And in part, it's because Geico has no sales force. So all of their business is sold direct, and that's why their investment is in their advertising. So folks, those were some of the fun and hopefully interesting, little anecdotes about insurance that I thought would be, worth sharing with young professionals who are about to embark on their insurance career. So before I wrap up, I do want to just take a few moments and invite you to ask any questions that you might have about the industry, about how I came into the industry or my perspective on the industry, any advice. So I am happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. And Jennifer, thank you for sharing your facts there in the chat. Appreciate that as well. So yeah, any questions that you guys might have for either Spencer, our Spencer folks, or myself that I can answer before we wrap up.
How did you know you wanted to get into insurance originally? Like, did you have an idea that you knew you wanted to be in that career field, or did it come along later? How did that go?
So good question, Heather. Thank you. And no, I was determined. I had no interest in insurance whatsoever. I went to school and studied video production. And so when I came out of college, I got a job working in video production, and I worked in sports video production for about 3 years. And then at the time, I decided, if you think about when sports are on nights, weekends. So when everybody else is home, you're working. And I thought, you know what, I'd kind of like to work some more conventional hours. And so I got a job doing corporate video production for an insurance company. And that was Commercial Union. And so I ended up in their marketing department doing video production. And I did all various types of videos that were part of either training and education, marketing. But I was kind of determined, even once I worked for the insurance company, I told people I was a video producer. I didn't tell them I worked in insurance. But I learned once I was in the industry, just again, that's where I started to learn how much we touch, how much our industry touches, and the various projects that came along. One of the projects I had when I worked for this insurance company was the company loaned me out to a national sorority.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to produce a safety video for its members. It was Alpha Chi Omega. They had asked me to put together a series of vignettes that could be used for training, and we filmed it at Tufts University. And the project was used, countrywide for Alpha Chi Omega, and was to educate its members on the safety of living in a sorority house, safety around party planning, all types of interesting subjects. So again, this
Do
is
they
why
still use that video? Do you know
I
if they
don't-
still use it?
I don't know. I don't know actually, but the video is called "Taking It Personally," and it was about folks getting in, making sure that they were personally involved in and responsible for safety within the sorority.
Okay.
So I did not have this grand calling to insurance, but it kind of found me. And then once I was in, I started to realize just how much our insurance industry touches.
Okay.
Today I have a son who is an underwriter at Liberty, who he needed a summer internship. I helped him with an internship. He started reading claims files, and he was kind of hooked. He said, you just wouldn't believe some of the stuff that happens out there. And he just found it that interesting.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So any other questions that I can answer for folks out there? Maybe, can I flip that question back on a couple of you? Why did you choose the insurance industry? So maybe if you guys don't mind me just randomly picking, Katie, can I ask you, like, what made you choose insurance?
Yeah, so I'm actually a finance student right now at Portland State in Oregon.
Yep.
And then I started interning at the Port of Portland. So aviation, cargo, and marines in risk. And then that just kind of led me to insurance, and now I'm working with the risk team. So yeah, I don't know. I just ended up, I actually had no clue, because I just thought finance was honestly like budgeting and whatnot. And then I kind of got more into the risk side of things. And since we're buying insurance, like it's our renewal season right now. And yeah, so I've really enjoyed it, and it's a different side of things, and definitely something I didn't think I was going to do, but I like it a lot.
That's great. Yeah. Liberty has we have a really significant ocean marine operation, and, help ensure product that gets transported all over the world. So it is interesting, right? If you think about, there's insurance that covers something while it's on the truck being transported across the country. And then that insurance changes once it leaves the truck and goes onto a ship. And we have a very significant ocean marine operation, and handling goods all over the world. So good for you. That's it is interesting. Like you just get started someplace, and then you start to see or start to learn a little bit more about the industry. So my closing comments. So hopefully you've learned something new about insurance here and the career that awaits you. I've been part of the insurance industry now for about 28 years, and still to this day, I am learning new things in this business every single day. So it stays very, very interesting. and challenging for me. It keeps me challenged. I also get to see the businesses that we protect and how the product and service that we offer, how it keeps that business in business, how it helps not just them to thrive, but for individuals and their families that are associated with those business, how it helps them actually live how it helps them basically have a good life for themselves and their family, right? Some of that's not happening if that business goes under, and that business is going under without insurance protection. So it's nice to be able to connect the dots in this industry and in this profession and know that the work that we're doing helps not just our company, but it helps the country, it helps our society just thrive and continue to move forward. So I'm excited for the future that awaits you as I'm looking at the the future of our industry. So thank you guys for being a part of today's session. I hope you had some fun, and I hope to see you guys again somewhere down the road in our industry.
Bob, thank you so much for running this awesome session. I know I learned a lot. We really appreciate your time and energy. This was great. And thank you all again for joining today. And for those of you who I've seen many times, it's been great to see you. And stay in touch with Spencer. If you aren't following us already on LinkedIn, on the social media platforms that exist, please do so you can stay in touch with other sessions like Bob's going forward in the future. Like I mentioned, we're going to be kicking off a monthly series. We're taking a couple weeks off, and we'll be back together on September 9th for a session with Jack Gibson, who's the president and CEO of the International Risk Management Institute, or IRMI. So hope to see you there. Bob, thank you so much again. This was a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you, everyone.